All right, so I think I already know what this video is about, and I actually wanted to make a video on this yesterday, but yesterday I couldn't because of just personal issues. But nah, I think I know. I think I already know what this video is talking about because I saw the tweet. I saw the tweet of Okarun's voice actor being like, "Oh, blackwashing is okay, but whitewashing isn't," and I was like, "Oh God, here we go again." And I have my thoughts on this. I do, as a colored person myself, I have thoughts on this that might piss off a lot of people on the might piss off my other people of color here, but yeah, that's just the truth of the situation. But um, regarding this whole situation, right? I just I'll just put my whole 2 cents. Let's just talk. Let's just start the video here.
We were talking about this art of Okarun and Momo, which has now collected over 90,000 likes. However, many people in Japan are not happy with this art. For example, this tweet with over 70,000 likes.
Yeah,
once again,
people of Japan are
there are still
not
many
happy
racists
about
who
this.
say that change.
I'm actually curious if this might genuinely start affecting like English voice actors getting jobs with like these animation with these anime, because you have to understand, like Funimation Control, they don't own the anime, they just have the license to translate it in America, right? But if Toei Animation doesn't want Funimation dubbing these animes, then they can't take that right away. I think right now they're under contract, so they probably can't do anything about it right now. But once that contract is up, like they can say fuck you and we're not giving you any of our anime. We're keeping that shit in Japanese only, right? They can do that. So I'm curious if this might actually spark like a domino effect that will like really affect who's being allowed to voice act and who isn't.
Changing the race of a Japanese character is not discrimination, and as such, you can see from the quotes, they say it's a great drawing because the character is not Japanese. If you point this out, you'll be called a racist. Their IQ is too low to even understand what discrimination is. There was also this response getting over 370,000 likes, reading simply, "Yo, I'm Japanese. Stop making Asian characters black. We're not Disney."
That's
in the
funny.
Responses to that post, I saw some people,
because you have to understand something, right? You have to understand something. The issue, the reality is, the issue isn't the fact that they're changing the designs of these characters, right? I think the issue it's not the fact that it's not the fact that they're changing these issues or changing the design of the characters. It's not the fact that they're race swapping these characters, because I believe art is art. Art is freedom of expression, right? You can take whatever you want. You can take a character and change them however you want to express your artistic view. That's fine and dandy. But the problem is that it's okay. It's one dimensional, right? It's okay if you do it for a certain group of people and change them to a certain group of people, but if you did it the other way around, it's racism and discrimination, right? Like it's okay for them to take Okarun, a Japanese anime character, make them black, but it wouldn't be okay if they took like Black Panther, who is canonically an African, and then made them Japanese, and then just like lightened his skin and made him Japanese, right? Everybody would lose their fucking mind if they did that, and that's the problem. It's the fact that it's rules for thee but not for me. That's the issue, right? And I think that it boggles my mind how these people just cannot understand that. It boggles my mind how these people cannot fathom the fact that like it's only racist if it's towards minorities. That is the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That is the most I want special treatment because I'm a certain color argument I've ever heard in my entire life. It's so fucking annoying. I hate it when these people do that shit, because here's the thing. Fun fact about me, right? Growing up as a person of color, right? The people who were the most racist to me growing up as a kid, the people who were the most racist to me were other black people. It wasn't white people. It wasn't Indians, yes or no. It's more so the old Indian people, because they just don't like they just don't like anybody who's not Indian. I'm keeping it real. But the most racist people towards me growing up were other black people, because apparently if I didn't act a certain way, or if I didn't talk a certain way, if I didn't portray myself in a certain way, I wasn't quote unquote black enough, right? I was an Oreo. I was black on the outside, white on the inside, right? I wasn't black enough because I don't have a fucking SoundCloud, or I don't have 5 chains all around my neck, or I wasn't black enough because I don't listen to these fucktard rappers like Lil Cumshot. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it was so annoying listen to that shit growing up, and I would just look at these people who they would consider like hood niggas, or like hood people, and then like, you know, the real black culture. And I'm looking at these dudes, and they look like someone scraped them off the bottom of the ocean, like dudes that just like go in and out of prison. I'm just like, what the fuck? That's what you think I'm supposed to be like? Are you fucking stupid? Like, I'm not, you know, apparently, because, you know, I thought, you know, who would have thought, you know, call me crazy, but I thought, you know, being black was enough to be black, but apparently not. No, apparently because I can articulate myself in a comprehensible manner, that means I'm not black enough. Because I don't, you know, I don't portray myself in a certain way, I'm not black enough, right? And that was the bullshit I had to deal with growing up. And it's like, I know for a fact these exact same people would say this shit to other black people as well. And it pisses, because it's just oh my god, it's just them throwing around the race card, and it's so fucking annoying.
People very confused by the Disney comment. So for anyone confused, they're likely referring to how Disney has race swapped characters. Anyways, there was then this tweet that I also showed in the
oh, and also the second reason why I think people have an issue with this is because 9 times out of 10, when they race swap a character, it's the thing is dog shit. It really is. If the character was good, then I think less people would have an argue with it, would have a problem with it if it was actually good. But 9 times out of 10, when they race swap a character, it has no, it really doesn't like have any narrative effect to the character. And then when they present that character in the media that they are presenting them in, that 9 times out of 10, that media is fucking dog shit. And that's the other issue, is that they all suck. Like all the Disney characters that they race swapped, and then the film that they were in, the film fucking sucked, and that's the other big issue.
Prior video where this Japanese user says, I'll put it back and post Okarun and Momo. I believe when I showed that tweet in my prior video, it had a few hundred likes. Well, since then, it's gotten over 210,000 likes, as well as this response to it with 69,000 likes reading, when Akawa Bukubu Sensei drew Ida from Splatoon 2, he had a slightly lighter skin tone, so everyone made a big fuss about it being racist. But then they're happily making Japanese characters black and justifying it. Their double standards are ridiculous. Which one is discriminatory? So they're citing that Splatoon situation that I've talked about a few times on this channel, where the creator of Pop Team Epic had made this Marina art and then received a tremendous amount of insults from people on Twitter, including this tweet, which was like basically sending him a death.
Oh, yeah, literally. I think we're going to have to kill this guy. Lovely. See, this is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. Either all of it is okay or none of it is okay. That's the issue. When you pick and choose, when you pick and choose what's okay, you become a virtue signaling prick. That's all it is. Either if you're okay with them making Okarun a black person and when they're clearly Japanese, then you need to be okay with them taking the Black Panther and making him white. You have to be. Like, if you're gonna be, and if you're gonna use the excuse of, oh, freedom of expression, well, freedom of expression means that freedom of expression for everyone is not freedom of expression based on what you think is okay. That's the issue here.
Death threat. As I say every time, of course, they would argue that it's just a joke or something, but that never detracts from how pathetic it is. The artist had even made this response saying, regarding the content of this fan art, I received a response that this was racism against black people because the character's skin is depicted as lighter than in the original work. I also believe that if Ida were human, he would be black. Sorry, my coloring skills are poor, so it's not accurate. Of course.
It also leads me to something else that I want to talk about, right? Because I remember when the Genshin Impact boycott for Natlin was when like it just first started. I made a video on it, basically just shitting on the people who were like, "Oh, I'm for the boycott," and because it's these exact same people, right? It's just people who want to be mad at something that doesn't really fucking matter. I remember when I made that video, it got more likes than I thought I would. I won't lie, people received it better than I thought I would. I did get a few comments. I remember I got like a fucking Avenger script of a comment, and I obviously didn't fucking read that shit, but all the comments that were negative towards me were essentially saying, like, reiterating the same thing. Oh, they need to represent the culture. They need to do this. They need to do that. And I'm just like, they don't need to do shit. It's a fantasy world that has inspiration from some things, but it's not an historical accurate representation of anything that it's portraying. This is a game where you spend money to play as anime women, period, point blank. And it always, oh my God. Like, I'll admit, could I have handled myself more tactfully in that video? Sure. Do I care that I didn't? Not really. But the point, like, this exact mindset is the reason why I knew for a fact that the boycott wouldn't even work, because these people, they don't think with logic. They think with emotion, right? They think all this entire argument of, oh, it's okay to do this but it's not okay to, it's 100% driven from how they feel. And feelings are, honestly, 9 times out of 10, your feeling, how you feel about something is superfluous. It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is the fact of the situation, right? And the fact of the situation is, if you're gonna sit there and scream freedom of expression, well, I hate to tell you, freedom is for fucking everybody.
Of course, this is a very talented and successful artist, and his coloring skills are certainly not poor. Regardless, he felt the need to make that tweet and apologize to the mob. And for many years, Japanese artists would get harassed on Twitter, and many of them would apologize or delete the artwork, etc., etc. But it seems like also over the years, more and more Japanese people have been sick of this sort of treatment, and also sick of the double standards. So it seems like lately we're seeing more and more of them push back. Now, returning to the Okarun and Momo art situation, things ended up getting crazier because the English voice actor for Okarun decided to get involved, changing his profile pic on Twitter to that art of Okarun and saying, "This is fire," and thanking the artist. And indeed, in his bio,
I think they're gonna bring up the tweet, because I saw that tweet and I was like, what the fuck?
We can get further context, as here we see the voice actress Anaris Q changing her profile pic to that art of Momo and going on to say, new profile pic, had to couple profile pic with AJ Beckles VO, and going on to credit the artist. AJ's response saying, had to complete the pair with my girl, and his tweet getting 39,000 likes. However, you may have noticed that in some of those screenshots, AJ's profile pic is no longer that art of Okarun, as it seems like within 24 hours or less, he actually changed it to a different profile pic. A tweet explaining that, saying, my profile pic is now a fan drawing based off me doing a silly Okarun pose. An Afro-Latino man, which I think is pretty cool. I hope you guys like it. Although that tweet was later changed to instead say, my profile pic is now a fan drawing.
He took off the Okarun pose.
Afro-Latino man. I hope you guys like it. As of recording,
these VAs really need to just shut the fuck up sometimes. Like, honestly, like, a lot of people need to understand that your opinion on a lot of this shit doesn't fucking matter. And, like, you're a voice actor. We don't give a fuck on what you think about the racial discrimination that's going on against black people and Japanese and all this shit. Just play the character that you're paid to do and do it well, and people will love you. Like, seriously, like, people need to understand that your opinion doesn't fucking matter most of the time. So you shouldn't give your opinion on shit, or at the very least, if you're gonna give your opinion, understand the consequences of that opinion coming out. Right? When I made that video of me shitting on Genshin Impact, I was fully expecting people to fucking shit on me. Right? That's why I said it was better received than I thought it would be. Right? I was 100% expecting to be shit on. I didn't care, because that's what I thought. And if you're okay with that, then sure, state your opinion. But you have to understand that your opinion, people don't have to fucking agree with you. That's like, oh my god, it's something that these people cannot get through their fucking heads.
And Neris's profile pic is still Momo, and we can get more context on roles that she's played in her bio that reads
Mirko,
My Hero
Lynette,
Academia,
Fei Xiao,
Honkai Star Rail, Nessa Pokemon, Kimberly, Street Fighter 6, JJK, Dora, and she/they. In her pinned tweet, also providing context to her role in Dandadan, saying that she's the English voice of Muko. As for AJ Beckles, you'll have to come to your own conclusion.
No wonder I didn't get Fei Xiao.
Changed his profile
I'm just kidding, that didn't matter.
Maybe he decided that he
if Fei Xiao reruns, I'm gonna get her.
Thinking he was fanning the flames or something like that, and therefore decided to change his profile pic and not get further involved. However, there were also some other things that happened. Once again, come to your own conclusion, but here's the rest of the information. In the responses to his tweet about
there it
changing
is,
his
this
profile
tweet,
picture,
this
we
tweet.
can see a number of tweets like these. This one, for example, saying, as a black guy myself, I stand with Japan when I say some of y'all need to be stopped.
Yeah,
and posting
I saw
a few
this.
images of prior tweets that AJ had made. These readings.
Oh, these are old. I thought these were recent. Oh, these are old. I didn't read that.
say about it. So tiring. It doesn't affect the character whatsoever. It's okay. And the other one reading,
So yeah, I see, but like he's about to point it out. Okay, let's let him finish.
the reason white people in most cases shouldn't be playing POC isn't a matter of color. It's culture. Speaking for black people, we know what a barbershop sounds like on Sundays, what a hot comb smells like when it's going through our hair. It's not the color, it's the culture. And
See, let's sum this up in like 3 sentences. So it hold on, let me go back so it shows the whole thing. Okay. Every time there's a black actor cast in a role in a fantasy where the source material version is lighter skinned, someone with something to say about it. So tiring. It doesn't affect the character. It doesn't. Whatever. It doesn't affect the character whatsoever. It's okay. Okay. So changing the skin color of a character doesn't affect the character whatsoever. It's okay. Let's scroll down a little bit. Oh, white people can't play people of color because they don't represent the culture, so it's not okay. You see the issue here? You see the contradiction here? You see why people are getting mad? Like, that's the whole thing. This right here sums up the whole reason why these people are getting shit on and why people don't like these virtue signaling pricks. If you're gonna say that it's okay to change a white person to black, then you need to be okay with the reverse. You need to be okay with that. When you sit there and say, oh, rules for thee but not for me, you are a virtue signaling prick. That's all it is. When you sit there and say, oh, this group of people is discriminated on, so they have the right to do whatever they want, and then you come around and say, oh, these other group of people, it doesn't matter, their ancestors did something that we don't agree with, so we need to punish them. And it's like, bro, it's 2024, about to be 2025. We don't live in the 1960s at the height of the fucking civil rights movement, bro. We need to come to an understanding that the people who cultivated this whole culture of racism and all that, and did these horrendous acts against people of color, we need to come to an understanding that those people are dead and gone. They no longer exist. You are now condemning people with original sin who have nothing to do with this. Like, it has, like, you're making oh, these people feel like, oh, they deserve some guilt for simply being born white. It's like, what the fuck? And you expect them to agree with you? Like, what the fuck? It's stupid. It's just pure stupidity.
we can see a number of tweets like these. This one, for example, saying, as a black guy myself, I stand with Japan when I say some of y'all need to be stopped. And posting a few images of prior tweets that AJ had made. These reading, every time there is a black actor cast in a role,
I already saw this.
It's not this. However, the situation also proliferated back over in Japan too. As we would then have this tweet from Shin, responding to that prior tweet that AJ made, where he talked about changing his profile pic to that altered version of Okarun. Shin going on to say this and getting over 17,000 likes. Please spread the word. This is a declaration by the overseas voice actors that they support, quote, the racism that disrespects the original work by turning characters black and excluding Japanese people, unquote. Change the icon image of the X account to, quote, a Japanese exclusion blackening hate image, unquote. It expressed blasphemy against the original work and discrimination against Japanese people. This is an international issue. Officially, please remove this voice actor from his role immediately. Some of
there it is. Y'all single-handedly managed to red pill Japan just by being obnoxious. You know what's actually funny? That's so true. Because Japan is supposed to be like one of the most Japanese people are supposed to be like one of the most polite people on earth. They're supposed to be like, if you do something wrong to them, they're gonna fucking get on their hands and knees and apologize with the power of their great ancestors for their wrong that they did to you. Now you just somehow you managed to piss all these people off. That takes a level of obnoxious that is like unheard of. Like, holy shit. It's so interesting to me. It's so interesting to me because fuck, I was gonna say something but I forgot because of that. I was gonna say something but I forgot because of this fucking screenshot of the tweet that made me laugh. Oh fuck. Hold on, let me go back. Maybe I'll remember. It's not coming back to me. I'll probably come back to me later.
Move this voice actor from his role immediately. Some of the responses to Shin's tweet including, y'all single-handedly managed to red pill Japan just by being obnoxious. Conversely, however, this tweet seems to be upset by Shin's tweet saying, The Japanese nerds are starting to get on my nerves. And this response from Zero Dozer, talking about localization issues as well, saying, now the Japanese know what the localization industry thinks of them. My suggestion? Make a move to get these losers out of their jobs. People both in the West and East are sick of these racist psychopaths. Over on our Kotaku in action, a top post would get made saying, Ken Takakura, Dandadan English VA supports blackwashing art, also thinks white VAs can't voice POC, but not vice versa. English voice actor again exposing racism and hypocrisy, again showing we need to clean house the voice acting industry. And going on to post the tweet.
It really like this really sheds a light on like these voice actors and voice actresses really just need to know when to shut the fuck up. Like honestly. I think this guy single-handedly started like I think this guy single-handedly was like is gonna be the catalyst for a whole like situation of people not getting voice acting jobs because of their tweets now. I think this guy single-handedly started this. Who knows? Who knows? To be honest, knowing how the internet works, if people stop talking about this in like 2 weeks, nobody's gonna care anymore, and like nothing's really gonna happen. If I know the internet, that's probably what's gonna happen. But I'm very curious to think if this will actually have some effect on like voice acting roles in the future.
Tweets that we took a look at earlier, just for a refresher, the ones where AJ had said, every time there's a black actor cast in a role in fantasy where the source material version is lighter skinned, someone always has something to say about it. So tiring. It doesn't affect the character whatsoever. It's okay. And the reason white people, in most cases, shouldn't be playing POC isn't a matter of color. It's culture. Speaking for black people, we know what a barbershop sounds like on Sundays, what a hot comb smells like when it's going through our hair. It's not the color, it's the culture. Getting top responses such as, imagine a white person saying all this. They lose their job, receive death threats to them and their family.
Literally just make a white person say this, they'd be fucked.
Satirically, someone says, excuse me, sir, I noticed you inadvertently use offensive terminology blacklisted in your post. We don't use white/black to refer to good or bad anymore. It's 2024, chud. And another saying, what a frickin' racist thing to say. Quote, all black people have the same culture and experience, unquote. And the implied BS of, haha, whites have no culture. And speaking for black people, who the heck made you king of the blacks?
Make you king of the blacks. Don't kill me. Which, by the way, he used like a horrible analogy for culture. This guy used a barber shop and like, what the fuck, combing hair as like culture, as if white people don't do that shit either. As if white people don't go to salons and comb their fucking hair too. Like, what the fuck? How is that? How is combing hair specific to black people? Like, what the fuck is that?
And this one saying, he changed his profile pic to a fan art of himself. I guess his agency told him to shut up.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Back to what I said earlier in the video about coming to your own conclusion here. Why do you think he changed his profile pic back and so fast?
Because somebody told him to shut the fuck up.
Some good character development, like maybe he was like, you know what, this is not good. Like I'm
in less than 24 hours. Hell no.
So
he 100% changed it because somebody told him to shut the fuck up. Case in point, his girlfriend didn't change it. Their opinions are the same, but the backlash that they got made the people around them be like, "You're a fucking idiot. Take it off if you want to continue to have continue to get roles." And that's why he changed it. He didn't change it because he had a sudden change of heart. He still believes everything that he said. Otherwise, he probably would have deleted those tweets. Actually, even if he did delete them, I still believe he still believes that. But no. The reason why he changed it is 100% somebody who has authority over his ability to make money told him to shut the fuck up. That is what happened.
Changed it back, or maybe it really is like his agency telling him to shut up, although that does seem kind of unlikely. A lot of these English voice acting companies seem like they would support the tweets that AJ made, if anything. Maybe it was the whole thing causing...
They would support it if they would support it if the voice actors got support. This man got so much backlash that Japanese people, who are supposed to be the most polite people on earth, told him to shut the fuck up. Agencies, companies, and corporations only do what's going to get them more money. They support LGBT not because they care about LGBT, but because they know LGBTQ people are loud as fuck and will just wave the pride flag to make them say, "Hey, I'm on your side." When in reality, they don't care. They just want your money. If degrading LGBT people got them more money, like made them more sales or more attention, then they 100% would be saying death to all gays. They would. Like corporations, they have no moral compass. The moral compass, their compass is wherever the money is, right? This dude, I fully believe that his agency told him to shut up because his virtue signaling didn't work. That's why they told him to shut up.
People to look into the history of what he's posted and not wanting all that attention. Or maybe it was the tweet going on in Japan where people are calling for him to lose his job. Or some combination of all that, who knows? Leave your thoughts in the comments. As always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this coverage, and if you did,
Yeah, this video, oh my god, I've always hated that. Like this whole race card thing, like as if for some fucking reason you can't be racist towards white people. It's so dumb. Right. And the reason why I say this and like I have such a strong opinion on this is because, like I said, the most racist people towards me were other black people, and the nicest people to me growing up were white people. My first friend that I ever had was a white dude, and he was the first person that actually was like, hey, like come over, yeah, you can come over, meet my parents, all that. It was nice. While all my other black friends made me act it's actually so ironic. The black people I knew made me feel like I wasn't good enough to be black, or made me feel like I wasn't like a proper black person, right? Whereas the white friends that I had were the ones that made me feel like, yeah, no, I'm okay as a person. And that's why like this whole like idea of like, oh, we can never be racist against minorities, but white people are the devil because they have the same color as Hitler. It's like, oh my god, it's a level of retardation I will never understand. But nah, it is what it is. I'm very curious if at the end of all this will actually like affect some of the roles that people get, because you have to understand when it comes to anime, Japan holds all the licensing because they own the IPs, right? Crunchyroll doesn't own the IPs. They own the license to translate the IPs. That's why they have such a massive monopoly on English dubbing, but they don't own the IPs. So I'm very curious if this becomes big enough in Japan where the Japanese anime companies like Toei or Mappa or whatever, like the animation studios will be like, nah, we're not letting you translate our anime because your voice actors are fucking stupid. Like I'm curious if that might actually happen. But hey, we'll see where it goes from there.